Take two. Hello and welcome to the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, bringing you a crap ton of news today already. It's just flooding in, isn't it? So obviously the main reason I'm on today, and I'll just for those that were confused as to what happened earlier, just had a little bit of a breakdown on the streaming software. So all is fixed and I'm back in the game. And yeah, so what we're talking about today, lots of things. We're talking HasLab H.I.S.S tanks. We're talking rumors about Cobra Commander, and we're talking Super7 SDCC. So I suppose we better get into it. Hello, everyone that's joining the chat already. To Soda, to Malcolm, to Ryan, to Diecast Nick, to Daniel McGovern. Hello, guys, and everyone else who I'm sure will fly in as we go along. But let's get stuck into that first bit of news then, which is the wonderful fact that HasLab has reached 16,000 backers and therefore unlocked Tier 4. I don't know why. Yeah, oh yeah, because I do this. Forgive my slow. I'm slow tonight. So yes, the HasLab H.I.S.S tank has reached 16k and beyond. And I have to say, I was a little bit surprised it took this long. Now, I was kind of watching it like just before I went to bed last night, and I was probably up to about midnight, and I was kind of looking at it going, man, it's like 970 something. I'm like 977, I think it was at. I thought, there's not like they're definitely going to hit this. I had like lined up Facebook and Twitter account kind of posts to say like, we've done it, we've unlocked it, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it never happened. And I fell asleep, woke up in the morning, and I think Paddy had messaged to say, oh look, they reached 16k, and I'm like, gosh darn it. So yes, that happened. Obviously, I couldn't do the I couldn't do the news burst any earlier today, so I thought I'll just do it tonight. And lo and behold, we have loads of other news to talk about as well. But let's obviously discuss the H.I.S.S tank. Hello to J-Rod, Magnificent Mark, Toys of the Jedi, Christoph Black, Toy Bounty Hunter, Ryan Sweeney, and so on and so forth. Yeah, in Pat's voice, it's the Full Force News Burst. Yeah, I can't do his voice. I can do Serrana. I can do the Thrasher. Serrana, I didn't know it was you. But that's not for here. Let's, I guess, talk about this incredible campaign, which, you know, a moment not too long ago, Hasbro Pulse posted a bunch of images kind of breaking down all of the different things that we've unlocked with this wonderful campaign. Obviously, you know, the fully funded H.I.S.S with H.I.S.S driver, as seen on the screen right there and then. The upgrade number one, also something they didn't add was the fact, obviously, we've unlocked that tactician as well, which is great. So that's another thing that they didn't add on there on the images. But upgrade one, the missile racks, the 2 removable side-mounted missile racks that also go meep, meep, kind of like pull out and stuff, which is great. We also have, excuse me, hello Tags, hello Slave, hello Max, hello Knock Ripper. Hello, guys. We also have upgrade 2, which is the retro armor-plated tread skirts and canopy, which is cool. I mean, it gets you a kind of vintage style H.I.S.S, doesn't it? Which is nice. Nice little options there, I think. Obviously, upgrade 3 was one of my favorites at the time. The female gunner with all the accessories and the weapon accessory pack with the H.I.S.S integrator cannon and the H.I.S.S Raptor ZX5 blasters as well. Lots of H.I.S.S, you know, what they're called? Puns. It is definitely worth the money now, isn't it? KCoco1701. Absolutely agree with you on that one. I kind of felt like it was worth it. Like, I personally felt it was worth the money when we got the tactician, but now it is beyond worth the money. Yes. Rudy Zissu says, you do realize that when Thrasher gets revealed, you will have to do the news burst entirely in that voice. Of course I will. Thrasher. Yes, I will have to do it in that hilarious voice. Oh, Slave, this is still your favorite upgrade, is it? Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? I'm really into this one, big time. Um, A Magnificent Mark says, "Will this thing come fully assembled, or will it be similar to the vintage Hiss?" I doubt it will be fully assembled. I think most of it will be together because of the electronics that are within it. But you know, like they may have, like the turret might be separate. The back, well, the back door will probably be on. It'll probably be generally like, you know, as you can kind of look at it and see all the bits that come off, they'll come off. But the majority of the tank, I will imagine, will be kind of completed together. I guess it'll just be a big box, or maybe the treads come off it. But yeah, I can't see the main body being kind of like changed much personally. Anyway, Magnificent. That's what I think. Marauder Ruben, I can't believe they did not make a toe behind. There's still time. I'm just saying. I was like 30 something days left, isn't there? Like 35 days left, which is unbelievably crazy. 35 days left, and it's already smashed through everything. Ridiculous. So you never know. And I've got a thought process on this, Ruben, where I think, or I've got a feeling they might do toe behinds in the main line that you can, like, you know, use with your hiss. So I think that'll kind of come as a separate thing. Or they might just drop something crazy before the end of the 35 days is up. Who knows? Hello, Absorb Vids. Ryan, we haven't actually got to that information, unfortunately. No, I haven't asked them yet. Did Hasbro ever say if the rockets come off the pods? We don't know yet, unfortunately. Dinner is smelling good, Cody, because I've already had burgers. I've already had my burgers. They were amazing. Burgers, by the way, with an S, not multiple burgers. They were amazing. Yeah, and some like kind of like potato wedgie style steak fries, like, you know, like little not fries necessarily, chopped up potato, like little roast potatoes. Gorgeous, absolutely amazing. His throat will be thrashed after that news burst. Thrasher, yeah, it will. It absolutely will. Hey, J Mac. Joel Elvis Rocker, shout out to JE. I'm looking forward to a vamp next. Smiley face. That would be cool. I wonder if they're just going to do a vamp in the main line. Marauder Ruben, I'm going to go talk to Lenny about that. Go, man. Go tell him. Go tell him that you need a towable. Definitely. Daniel, excuse me, have they talked about what the packaging will be like? Vintage inspired, probably. I'd be happy with something new, actually. Well, I imagine it will probably follow along with the classified aesthetic, because it's a classified thingy. I know, obviously, Tier 4, which we'll talk about in a second, Upgrade 4, is a, what's the word? Retro card back. But I have a feeling that the Hiss tank itself, because the other figures, as I've mentioned, the Hiss driver and the tactician will come in your classic classified numbered boxes with the tactician having Ron Ruda art, which is amazing. But yeah, we don't know what the actual Hiss packaging will look like. I don't think they know that yet. I genuinely don't think they've decided on it yet. Yes, Diecast Nick, it is doing a little bit better than the lightsaber, absolutely. Rachel and Carlos Salinas, will Scrap Iron come with an SMS? Well, it sounds like he's going to come with a pretty substantial accessory, a pet, if you will. So I think it's going to be something pretty cool that maybe could be towable. I mean, how neat would that be if it had a little tow hook and wheels on it? And then it's like, whoa, there you go. That goes on your Hiss tank. That would be dope, actually. So it could be that's something they could be thinking about. That's why they maybe made a big deal out of Scrap Iron coming with something ridiculous. Yeah. Toy Bounty Hunter, what a coincidence, having a burger now. Burgers are pretty standard issue, though, aren't they? And they're so good. Oh my God. As you can tell, I'm such a burger fan. Hello, Windblade. Bernardo Tarin says, now the price is worth it. Hasbro throwing in extra figures and accessories. Big time. Classified aesthetic, says Joel. Absolutely. That's what I think it'll be anyway. less of the Hiss puns, please, because I keep missing them. Tom Whalen. Hey, Tom. Less about the Hiss, more about your potatoes. Okay, so no. Hey Tom, obviously throw lots of love Tom's way. The wonderful artist behind the Alley Viper artwork for the classified line, and of course many other amazing pieces of art, including the Power Rangers toy line, and obviously loads of other things. So big shout out to Tom, love you man. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your hilarious comment. Unfortunately, there will be less about potatoes because I do get absolutely berated when I start doing food on here. Yeah, we know the figures will be boxed separately, Max. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Slay says, I could see the Asp Turbo being done with a figure like the Ram Cycle. Same. Absolutely agreed on that. Luc Poulon says, I think that if people keep backing it early and we add another 8K backers, that is when we might get Asp a 2-in-1 HasLab big time. I think that is the case. I think we'd have to see some significant numbers again, I think, before we see something like a towable, personally. Paul, so excited for the female gunner. She has started murmurs about a mainline female Cobra Trooper. Any insight on that? Yeah, so Paul, the actual HISS driver, tactician, and the female gunner are completely new sculpts. So the fact that someone mentioned a while back that the HISS driver was utilizing some trooper parts, but it's not the case. They are completely new from the ground up. That said, a female Cobra Trooper is like very much on the table, isn't it? That's something I could definitely see happening. Yeah, and also like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was something that can happen sooner rather than later, because we've had so many Cobra Troopers and officers so far, and yeah, this will be the first female troop builder, the HISS gunner. So I would imagine that they'd maybe want to kind of like get the female, if you know, a female Cobra Trooper definitely out the door pretty soon. So I'm gonna throw some fuel on that fire and say it's an absolute possibility. No direct insight on that, unfortunately, Paul. Pack Rat as a pet, says Max, for scrap iron. That'd be sweet, wouldn't it? Call it Ratty. Rudy Zissu says the 16K is unprecedented. Do you think they're coming up with tears on the fly now as they didn't expect so many backers? I think they were confident that this would eventually fund and probably reach the last stretch goal before the end of the campaign. I think they were confident to a degree that they could do that, right? The Sky Striker HasLab, I think, gave them confidence that the G.I. Joe brand had some backing behind it, right? So then for the classified line to do it like this, for it to do it like this and unlock Upgrade 4, which is a retro Cobra Commander, retro cardback Cobra Commander action figure with cool accessories, then I don't think anyone expected that. I don't think they expected it. I don't think they had a contingency necessarily in case it did happen, because it was just so out of the blue, wasn't it? Just, no pun intended, out of the Cobra blue, that it broke records. You know, when you think about the fact they've got Marvel, Star Wars, well, I say Star Wars, I know it's struggling at the moment in terms of the last two HasLabs, but, you know, it's still a big brand, bigger than G.I. Joe. However, currently, G.I. Joe is absolutely killing it, classified especially. So, with that said, I do though think I do think they did some tinkering to the tiers when things happened the way they did. And I think what we're looking at here is probably, you know, them kind of like saying, well, this is what we can do with this level of backing. And they thought, well, let's do another figure. Let's do a classic Cobra Commander, throw it in with the HasLab, and let's make that tier 4 and maybe combine what I would have expected the weapon accessory pack to be tier 3 and the female HISS gunner tier 4. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know that at all, but that's what it looks like from the outside looking in, doesn't it? That's definitely my kind of perspective on it. Now, whether they do more tiers is completely, I don't know. And also, I don't fully expect them to. But at this moment, nothing's surprised. Well, like, I just keep getting surprised. So, like, I wasn't expecting them to do another figure like this for this particular run. I wanted them to, didn't expect them to do it. So there's a lot of things where you've got like expectation versus reality. Do you know what I mean? And in reality, I just never thought that, one, it would have blown through all of these and made like crazy numbers in record time, way more popular than any other that's ever been before it. When you consider Star Wars and Marvel and all of that stuff, it kind of blows your mind a little bit. So Rudy, yes, I think from my perspective, it looked like they may have tinkered a little bit within the 4 tiers. Now, I think if it continues to do really crazy numbers, and it has slowed down significantly, by the way, it's only at like 16,134 at the moment. So it's kind of like, you know, it's done what it's needed to do early, and now it's just kind of like sitting there. So whether they think, let's throw something else in and let's get the numbers moving again and see what we can actually get out of this, or do they just take this as a win, see out the rest of the campaign, and maybe like, I don't know, I really don't know. It's difficult to say, isn't it? Not being there, making those decisions. But still, an interesting topic of conversation, Rudy, definitely. Toy Bounty Hunter still needs blast effects. That's a good point. Lenny did mention that in the stream. Skydro Walker said, why would they add anything else now since it's still getting backers after 16,000? Doesn't make sense financially for Hasbro Corp. Yes and no. It depends what numbers they hit, doesn't it? Like if it goes astronomical, like at the moment, like I said, now that it's slowed down, there's no real need for them to go and reveal something. But if they want to see how far this can go, they might go, well, let's say we're going to do one more thing, and let's see if people are interested in that. And then if the numbers shift again and they reveal it, and then it's like, yeah, there we go, and then it drives straight through and gets to something else, great. What I would also say is maybe if they had other ideas that were going to be tiers, that rhymes, things like blast effects, things like towables, things like other figures that might be related. If they wanted to do something along those lines, maybe they're thinking about the main line for that stuff now. Maybe they're thinking, let's get the blast effects into something else, and then you can use them with the HISS tank as well. Who knows? I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later at this rate. Skyfall says, this HasLab made history. I've used that pun. I have used that pun, Skyfall. Magnificent Mark says, do you think Cobra Commander will have a vac metal mask like the Target Super7 reaction figure? Not quite sure. They might go for the kind of, they've done like a shinier Destro helmet for the retro card back series. They might just do a similar thing to Cobra Commander's chrome mask on with that, because it's definitely shinier and more chrome-like than the original classified Destro figure. So I've got a feeling they're probably going to do whatever they did to that Destro on the Cobra Commander's chrome helmet face mask. I can't. This is your face mask. Was my faceplate. Just as I was once a man. Anyway, Ryan says, might be a minority opinion, but the classic version 1 Cobra Commander is my favorite. I don't think that'd be a minority opinion, Ryan. It's a good classic look in it. Do you know what I mean? It's a very iconic look, and I think a lot of people gravitate towards that genuinely. My personal favorite is really just because I didn't have Cobra Commander until Battle Armor Cobra Commander. That was my first one as a kid, and I loved that one because it was so cool. And I wasn't reading the comics. I wasn't reading the Real American Hero comics, so I had no idea about the storyline and that Fred was actually in that suit and so on and so forth. So, but that was my Cobra. That was my default. That was my Cobra Commander, if you know what I mean. But no, in terms of like most iconic, you're looking at it on screen right now. Toy Bounty Hunter says the drone that Scrap Iron could come with is the Claw. It was a drone as well as pilotable. That would be dope. I think it's going to be more akin to his missile accessory, but a Claw would be sweet, wouldn't it? Like, I'd love a Claw. I wouldn't have minded a Claw with this Cobra Commander. So if they did like a deluxe set, right, and they did this Cobra Commander again, but with the regular logo, a Claw, and a cape of some, like, his like cartoon cape with those accessories, I think that would be super cool. Personally, I'd be all over that, like a dirty rash. I only say that because I have it. Anyway, thank you, Toy Bounty Hunter. Yeah, Toys of the Jedi. Historically, HasLab figures have been made available in mainline in some form or another. We're getting another Cobra Commander, guys. Don't worry. This ain't the only Cobra Commander in this style that we're ever going to see. We'll get it in the mainline, and we'll get it with the standard logo. We'll probably get it in dark blue. We'll probably get it in red. We'll probably get it in black. We'll probably get it every possible rainbow color, guaranteed. Oh yes, Toy Bounty Hunter. Blue Ninja is the first female army builder. Thank you very much for that. You're good reminding. It's so difficult to keep up. Actually, genuinely is. So much out at the moment. I'm literally like surrounded by classified figures, which is just the best feeling ever. Yeah, Daniel, maybe some tiers to get the momentum going. Yeah, like the flags would be cool. Like someone mentioned that on the last stream, flags for the turret holes would be wicked, wouldn't they? That'd be so cool. I kind of want to back a second just for another female gunner. Maybe sell the rest off. Don't have room for 2 H.I.S.S. Who does? I know people are getting 5 of them. I mean, you are great work because you're getting those numbers up. I know some people that have got 5 on 2 different accounts, so they've got 10 come in. Unbelievable. Rachel and Carlos Salinas. If the tooling is reused for future retail releases, what will that be? Will that be a first? If the H.I.S. tooling, the actual vehicle tooling, I think so. But I think it's possible. I think it's genuinely possible. I think the Sky Striker is going to get a re-release. I can see the Sky Striker being a Night Boomer easily. All right, Night Boomer. But yeah, definitely. And I think the H.I.S. tank they'll be crazy not to. Because it's not like the blooming Jabba's Palace, where it's like you can't really get another repaint. You can't do like a Python Patrol Jabba's sail barge, can you? You can't do that. Sorry, I meant sail barge. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm tired. Brain farts are happening. But yeah, but you can do a Tiger Force one. No, but you can do they've already teased it on the Duke box, the Duke Tiger Force box art. But you could do a Pythonized one. You could do a Arctic colors. You could do blue. You could do red to make me happy. There's so much you can do with that H.I.S. tooling. They would be crazy not to utilize it again. Yeah, Doomed. Yeah, the Sky Striker did get a big influx after the Rancor failed. Yes, that was the case. I think there was an element of that happening. I also think people would, it was the last day as well. So, it was like a mixture. It was like a mixture of lots of different things in that sense. Plus, it was pretty cool. Okay, sorry guys, I can't get to all the comments. There's so many, but thank you. Keep them coming in. I'll try and get to as many as I possibly can. Eben Foster, actually, this is a good point. Blast effects, I think, come with the tank regardless. They just weren't ready to show. At least that's what I've been hearing. That's a fair point. That's a possibility too, Eben. I think that's yeah, definitely. A Punk with Toys new tier better be a trailer to pull my Robo Skull. Oh man, imagine a red H.I.S. with a towable helipad, but it wouldn't be a helipad, would it? It would be a Robo Skull pad. That would be so dope with a big skull and crossbones on it. Come on, let's get some crossover stuff going on. A lot of talk about the Robo Skull, which is obviously very close to my heart too. Between this HasLab and the Robo Skull, my shelf space is absolute toast. But what an incredible vehicle and figures we have coming our way with both. Totally, Tim. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Christopher Moody says, if they are coming up with tiers on the fly, then it's a good thing for us. They don't want what happened to the Rancor to happen again. So if they put out another HasLab and it's mediocre, we hold. Yes, the sail barge and the Razor Crest haven't been reused. Absolutely. Absorbvids just wants the figures, not the tank. I have no room for it. I don't think anyone has room for it. They're getting it anyway, Absorbvids. Toy Bounty Hunter says if they do more tiers, it's not going to be another figure or towable. It'll be blast effects, flags, weapons for the rack in the back, etc. For the pack and a mac in the back of the act. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Right. Let's move on because there's been more news as well. Yesterday, it was a bit of Emily news on Instagram. She's starting to dispel any rumors that are flowing around, which I think is really good on her part to communicate with fans about certain aspects. And whenever I think one of these rumors pops up, there's been a thing in the past where Hasbro kind of like ignore it or just go, well, we'll be revealing the truth soon, so it won't really matter. But it's nice that I think in this kind of situation where things are kind of like still cooking effectively, especially with the HasLab, that Emily kind of puts out this, kind of explanation for people. And I heard a rumor about Cobra Commander, and this is rumor one. So obviously, if any other rumors pop up, I'm guessing there's going to be more of these throughout the HasLab. And basically, she said that, hi, friends, I've been seeing a lot of rumors online surrounding the HasLab, so I thought this could be a fun way to provide some answers for the things that I can talk about. I'll keep looking through comments to see if there are other things I can answer too. So without further ado, which, let's be real, may as well be my catchphrase at this point, it's mine. I do it all the time, Emily. You've stolen that from me. Rumor one, I heard a rumor that Cobra Commander is going to be one of the last two figures for the Walmart classified retro cardback line that haven't been revealed yet. And the rumor is false. The 16K tier Coco, which we are so close to unlocking at the time when I am typing this, will be your first opportunity to get a retro sculpt of Cobra Commander in classified scale. He is not one of the last two Walmart figure reveals. Hope this was helpful and keep an eye out for the next rumor. Now I think it was on the last stream or maybe the weekly, I did make a point to say before Emily posted this that it was untrue, that Cobra Commander was not planned for the last two figures, and that just happens to be some information we are privy to. The knowledge of what those two figures will be, I can't tell you, but I could tell you on the stream last time that Cobra Commander wasn't one of them, and he certainly wasn't planned within that first 8 figures that we knew of. Now, obviously, things have changed a little bit in that the 8th figure will be the last one in the retro cardback series. So we're going to get to that, and then there aren't going to be any more retro cardback figures apart from Cobra Commander in this HasLab kind of setup. Or you never know, they might throw in like a retro Duke in this HasLab as well. You never know, do you? But as far as we know, Cobra Commander will be the last one, and those 8 figures will be the end of the Walmart retro cardback line. They're going to be going into a different direction with Walmart, which is awesome. And I can't wait to be able to actually share some of this information with everybody, but we can't at the moment. Now, in terms of the people saying that, oh, this was obviously one of the Walmart figures, it just wasn't. It never was going to plan to be. Now, it could have been the fact that they maybe were thinking beyond the 8 figures, but I don't know at what point they knew that they were changing based on where they were in that line at the time. Do you know what I mean? So, like, obviously, development takes a little bit of time, so they were probably thinking, like, who can we add to the line? Who can we kind of do as, like, like a Lady J and Gung Ho style, and who can we do as just, repaints and stuff like that. But like, basically, it's really simple. Those 8 figures will be it, and then we'll have that Cobra Commander to kind of like go along with them. Now, like I said, I can't say what those last 2 figures are, but I don't know what was developed beyond that. So it could have been that they had plans to do Cobra Commander in the future, but certainly not in that first lot. Now, what else was I going to say about this? I think that's it. Yeah, so we're probably going to see more of this from Emily, which is cool. So I could just answer some questions if any questions are coming through. Oh, Ray Murphy, hello, buddy. My wallet is seriously trembling at all the incoming Red Shadow customs. Hyena, Red Jackal, Red Laser. There's going to be a lot of them, mate. There's going to be a lot of them. Ryan Daly says, speaking of scrap iron, which other figures beside pet owners would you like to see given the deluxe treatment? I'd love Ripcord with a working parachute. Spot on. Lightfoot, obviously. I think Lightfoot would be awesome, and they could really go to town on that mine detector drone, and it would be so cool, wouldn't it? Like all of his gear would be wicked. I just think he would make for such a beautiful classified figure. No bias there whatsoever. Who else really works like that? Maybe another Destro with his disc launcher, and that Duke with the red and tan on that like ride-on lawnmower style bazooka cannon seated thing. Oh, that's a good shout, Ed. There's a response for you, Ryan. Road pig with a motorized battle axe. Amazing. Hello, Dragon Reborn. Oh, Daniel, yes. I'm looking forward to your interview with Carson. Operation Recall is incredibly awesome, and I hope to see all the figures unlocked. Just a quick comment on that. We were supposed to go live on Thursday, I think it was, but Carson couldn't do it, so we just postponed. So we'll do something hopefully later in the campaign, but it's on hold at the moment, unfortunately. Sorry, Daniel, and sorry everyone that was waiting for that. Rachel and Carlos Salinas says, I'll take a Red Shadows hyena with a skull and crossbones light in front with red jackal, please. Yeah, the skull and crossbones light. Oh, yeah, the logo. Oh, that's a great idea. That would probably be, that's actually quite a lot of tooling, I'd imagine. I imagine that bottom piece, I don't know how it's put together, but it looks kind of like it would be a big piece to have to retool, but still, great idea. Great idea. Unless it's just the light, and the light could be changed. I don't know. I for some reason I thought the light was going through like the logo cutout. I could be wrong. It could just be like on a lens. In which case, yeah, I'll take that, please. Yes, I'll take a skull and crossbones. Thank you very much. Punk with Toys is great. Now we need a HasLab crossover with a red H.I.S.S and RoboSkull trailer landing pad. Yes, we do. Okay. No, Aaron, you haven't missed the Super7 news. I'll be doing that shortly after this, actually very shortly. Yeah, okay. Neil says, I'm also not at all optimistic we'll ever see the retro cardback classified figures at Walmart, like the opposite of optimistic. Do you know what? That's not, it's, I have similar misgivings on that one. I've got a feeling that they may have, it kind of scrapped, the scrapped talk a bit too early. Do you know what I mean? But I still think they're going to, I don't think they're going to be difficult to get hold of, Neil, because I have managed to get Lady J and Baroness, yes, from the United Kingdom, but still, I have managed to get them. So I think when they're like available, like on Walmart online, or like, because the Walmart Collectorcon's over SDCC, by the way, that's another bit of news I was going to add to this. I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother. But the Walmart Collectorcon, which will probably reveal those last two G.I. Joe Walmart figures, by the way, is happening over SDCC. So people are going to be at SDCC trying to use their phones to order all of like whatever's revealed, whatever's for pre-order on the Hasbro booth, because there's going to be, everything's going to be, none of it's going to be physical, so it's all going to be online ordering, and they're also going to be on Walmart.com trying to get those Walmart figures. So I do not envy anybody going to SDCC this year, genuinely, because everyone's going to come back with blooming Cove. Doomed says, I hope we get a classic style Scarlet. Yeah, mate, that would be wicked. Classic Scarlet, classic Duke, I think are still kind of up there for me. I think that Roadblock kind of V2 aesthetic is pretty strong on the first release of Roadblock. So I don't necessarily need one that is like identical, but it would be kind of fun to have another, like vintage redo of him. Because I know that they kind of did it with Roadblock with the heavy artillery one to get his original vintage version one kind of, vintage inspired. So, I think Duke and Scarlet would be cool though. I'd love to get those two done. Toy Bounty Hunter says, I figure the last two figures will be Joe's, seeing as how there have only been 2 Joes in the retro line and 4 Cobras. I will just say that's not the case. It's one of each. There you go. I've really letting the cat out of the bag there, but it's one of each toy TBH. Neil Hill said, oh no, sorry. The bigger question about Walmart is, will we ever see anything other than Flint, Lady J, Cobra Commander, and the movie product? I don't know, mate. I really don't. It's hard to say because I see some people's Walmarts stocked to the rafters with stuff, and then I go to one and it's empty constantly. Every single one I go to near me. I don't know. I just think it's just weird, isn't it? It's like it's hard to really gauge where the best spots are for this kind of stuff. You pretty much confirmed that Duke. Did I? Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to say anything else though. I've just told you. I've told you exactly what I can say. Right, let's move on then before I do trip over and fall into a glass wall. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that is Super7 G.I. Joe themed pop-up at SDCC. Yes, Brian Flynn has been on an interview with the FWOOSH, and he has revealed that there will be a G.I. Joe pop-up kind of shop in much the same way as they've done with Peanuts, Master of the Universe, etc., etc. Now, this is something that we knew about this because we did an interview with Brian Flynn, and he told us, and we kept it quiet because we're good people on this show. We don't go around leaking stuff. Apart from me just telling you what's happening with the Walmart retro line to a degree. I haven't told you who's involved, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this was really cool to know that this was coming. Really excited for more details to come out of it. We are trying to line up another interview with Brian for the lead up to SDCC. So hopefully we'll get a lot more insights to what the pop-up's going to be, any Super 7 reveals they might have. If that is the case, then we'll probably drop the episode over SDCC rather than before it. But like I said, we're in the process of organizing an interview for ourselves with Brian. And the first one went so really well. We really enjoyed our chat with Brian. He's a super nice dude, really on point. And yeah, like again, gave us loads of cool info and all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, really excited for that. For those of you that have attended SDCC in the past and have seen the Super 7 pop-ups, I imagine something along those lines will be very cool, but with the G.I. Joe brand. He mentioned in the interview that it was like, hang on, I've got it written down somewhere because I knew I'd forget, and classically I've done that. Complete G.I. Joe themed pop-up that will be a G.I. Joe event filled with interesting and crazy things in the world of G.I. Joe. So really excited to see what it's all about. And yeah, that's basically what the Super 7 news is. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to, well, let's talk about Super 7 for a little bit because a lot of you are throwing in some, hello, Draws Walker 9. A lot of you are throwing in some comments. I'll try and get to all of them before we go. Thunderfeet says they must turn this CC figure into red laser. They must. I agree with you, Thunderfeet. Hilarious name, by the way. A Punk with Toys. I don't really want to hear anything more about Target or Walmart exclusives till we at least see some of the ones we are waiting for already hit the floors. Yeah, I know, A Punk with Toys. I mean, it's just the nature of the game in it at the moment. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since we've seen like actual exclusive product in the stores that they're exclusives to. Like, I feel like it's been that way. It's been that way for me personally. But yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Neil Hill says, I'm also not at all optimistic we'll ever see the retro car back classified figures at Walmart, like the opposite of optimistic. Sorry, Neil. I think I've already spoken on that with you about that. I picked up Retro LJ and Baroness also through Old Republic, so they are possible to get, just not from Walmart. I know that's what it feels like, doesn't it? Yes, Droz, absolutely. Super 7 is having a storefront in addition to their SDCC floor section. Yep. I'm really excited for this pop-up. I really want to see what it looks like, what the theme of it's all about. It's going to be fun, I think. Rachel and Carlos Salinas says, will the H.I.S.S success translate to smaller, more affordable classified vehicles at retail? For example, an Armadillo tank or Fang? I ruddy well hope so. Really do. I think one thing I will say about the HasLab is I can't see it having anything other than a positive effect on what goes beyond into the classified line. Like, I can't see it being, do you know what I mean? I can't see it being like another, I can't see it being negative impact. It's got to be positive only. So with that, I foresee that they will just be getting more, and we're already getting 5-figure waves now. So that's a bonus. We'll see how it goes. But I think, yeah, I don't see why not, genuinely. I don't see why not. Tristan says, the Gung Ho is the only retro car back figure I want so far. So hopefully I can find that one. Yeah, hopefully we can, because he's an awesome looking figure. Droz says, one thing I would love to see is another G.I. Joe animated series, even on a short run. Still no sign about the no signs of life where it comes to the animated series that was teased the end of last year and at that Brazil Expo by the Hasbro Brazil CEO, and showed, like, you know, preliminary kind of like motion comic visuals kind of style. Anyway, let's not get into that. Still no signs of life on the Lady J TV series, the Amazon one. I think a lot of that stuff is probably shelved now, and what we'll see coming out of any other media will probably be something that's a bit further along in terms of development. Can't wait for Super 7, G.I. Joe Super 7 reveals from Absorb Vids. Absolutely. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Anonymous Dude 123, for watching. See, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh yeah, Tristan. Curious what they're going to show at the classified SDCC panel. Seems kind of soon to show another wave. Yeah, that's another thing that I should have added to this, really, isn't it? And that's the SDCC panel that's been announced, the classified one. Really excited to see what that's all about. I'm gonna switch for the rest of the comments, guys, because we don't need to see, you know, as gorgeous as Brian and Fweebs are. I guess let's get back to just my face. Like anyone really wants that ever. Is there going to be a Super 7 exclusive? I think so, Aaron. Yeah, I believe they're going to probably do some Super 7 things at SDCC. It'd be, I mean, it's not really news, is that? I mean, that's got to happen. Oh, the Skeletor's Lair they did a few years ago was really cool. I need to check that out. That sounds incredible. A Punk with Toys, not a fan of Super 7, I see, bud. Super 7 pop-up, says Luke Poulon. Is that a new line? No, it is a little, like a shop, basically, like a little building that they'll theme to G.I. Joe. They made a custom neon sign of Skeletor, made custom flocked wallpaper of the evil warriors to cover the walls with it, a painting of Skeletor and a mounted battle cat head on the wall. I think I vaguely remember seeing it. That's amazing. Anonymous Dude 123 says, I can't hate. I really love what Super 7 is doing. Their Thundercats, Turtles, and Toxie bring me joy. And on the antithesis of that, A Punk with Toys says, great, more overpriced Super 7 stuff with horrible articulation. I try and get everyone in there. I try and get even if it's, you know, it's stuff you don't like. Neil Hill says, Super 7 is great, but I feel like the crutch they represented in the absence of more or better classified has now been eclipsed. Yeah, I get what you're saying on that one. I am still super excited to see those Ultimates, though. I can't begin to imagine how cool they are in hand, especially after seeing that one that Brian showed us, the Battle Android Trooper in hand. So sexy. Ed, I nabbed 2 Gung Ho retros, and one is for sure earmarked for a Gaucho repaint. Yep. Agreed. I'm definitely doing a Gaucho repaint on that one. Just like I'm doing a repaint version for Snake Eyes, for the Alpha Commando Snake Eyes, which I haven't even touched yet. I'm terrible when it comes to actually, you know, doing that stuff. Neil Hill says, I'm content to wait for Hasbro to get more classified rather than pay a massive upcharge for Super 7 Joe. That's totally cool, man. That's totally cool. Love that face, though. Thanks, Joel. Do you, though? How about now? Hello, Paul. Justin Hollis says Super 7 his tank due in 2028. Imagine if they did an animated HISS tank, it would be crazy. Although we did speak to Brian, didn't we? And he did tell us that, like, in terms of the G.I. Joe brand and vehicles, they're not quite there yet. They're not quite there yet, and they have to have sales to back up the decision to do vehicles for the certain lines. And where obviously Turtles is selling really well and Thundercats is selling really well, that's where you're getting a party wagon and a Thunder tank and all sorts of crazy cool stuff. So if the G.I. Joe stuff sold as well as those two, we'd probably get vehicles as well. But I don't think we're going to get them anytime soon right now. And you'd still buy it, Justin. Amazing. Toys of the Jedi. I don't know, actually. Anything I can share on the behind-the-scenes classified they're doing SDCC? Absolutely not a sausage. And I genuinely mean that. Like I've just told you, we know about certain things. I'll tell you if I know about them. I genuinely have no idea what they're planning for SDCC. I might do sooner or later, but I do not know right at this second. But it sounds awesome. I hope they get to stream it. I'm going to ask those questions, obviously, very soon. I've also tried to line up another interview with Emily and Lenny before the HasLab finishes, so we can get some kind of talk about more HasLab information, bang out a bit more kind of like info about any other things that might be happening in and around there. So yes, stick with the full force, dudes. You're gonna find a lot of cool content coming up very soon. Unlike this, which is just me being tired for like an hour. Matt Crosser says, jumped in late but excited that the HISS tank passed tier 4. Is tier 5 going to be a retrofitted cockpit for 3 3/4 figures? Interesting. The HasLab HISS tank could be a huge version for the 3 3/4 guys. Hey, that's a cool idea. I don't know if that's a plan for what they're thinking at Hasbro. I don't know. Would it be ridiculously too big for 3 3/4, or would it be like awesome for 3 3/4? Because I think it could be both. Anyway, Matt, good shout. Because obviously, RoboSkull did it, multiple scale RoboSkull, and have absolutely nailed it. So yeah, really, guys, I can't wait for those RoboSkulls and the figures and the record that I've produced a track on with Word Burglar and the book from Paddy and Brian. Oh my God, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Bob's figure with his head sculpt. Oh my God, the legend. Bob Breakin. All the beautiful artwork from two absolute legends in the game that have very recently passed away in the most depressing and saddest way possible. Like Ken Kelly most recently, and before him, Ian Kennedy, of course. But both have submitted beautiful artwork for this. Yeah, cannot wait for RoboSkull. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. Neil Hill says, yeah, make me a liar, Chris. I'm probably just as excited to see the product as you are. You probably am, Neil. You probably am, and probably is. I'm so tired. I'm glad that the repaint crew's in the house, though, Neil. You know how I love you, man. You know that. Oh, wow. Malcolm, Operation Recall is only 2K away from unlocking the 7th figure, the Silent Ninja. Amazing work from Carson again on that. What a cracking, awesome O-ring, esque, legendary related campaign that is. It's only going to do great things. And Malcolm, I know you've had a hand in designing one of the figures. Am I correct? In which case, great job for getting one of them through the legends. Love it. Looking forward to see all that stuff. I'm putting this one up because I love it. Anonymous Dude 123. Chris, you're a handsome lad. You're the man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Anonymous Dude. That's a lovely thing for you to say. It's a lie, but it's a lovely thing for you to say. When is SDCC? Says J Mac. It's 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It's like that whole week, isn't it? It's like Thursday through Sunday, basically, or Wednesday through Sunday, because it's kind of like there's like a preliminary SDCC kind of like online thing, and then it just keeps going day after day after. It's a monster, J Mac. But effectively, I think the 21st is when it's kind of like, I think that's the Thursday. 21st. I'll have to look at the old calendar. Yeah, Thursday, I think. It might even be 20th, Wednesday the 20th. But yeah, effectively it's the weekend of the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Excuse me. I did a burp. Yeah, so there you go. Droz. I love that folks are creating amazing custom figures and vehicles on a wide range, but it's bringing on new fans and collectors. Totally. Me too. I'm really loving it. Matt Crosser, I was thinking of Robo Skull. I know you were, Matt, but isn't it great? That was one of the first conversations I had with Ben ever when he called me. This is day zero, right? He calls me and says, "Chris, I've got this idea. Is it crazy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we spoke. We must have spoke for about. It was hours. I was just walking around the garden on the phone with him, and I think I got sunburn because I was outside for so long. But yeah, it was insane. And one of the first conversations we had was, how do we make it multiple scales? Because that's what we wanted it to do. And we had all these ideas, and I was telling him, you could put like a, like almost like you could take the whole section out of the interior to create the space for a 6-inch figure to go in. In my head, I wasn't thinking of like a chair that was separate. Do you know what I mean? That was raised. I was thinking of like molded into the base would be the seat. Kind of very old school in my thinking. Very old school vintage in my thinking. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then obviously when you could put something in which would make it smaller space so that the 3 3/4 could operate in it. And that was in our heads. And then further weeks down the line, as we were developing all these different ideas, you remember him, he sent me like a sketch of what I think it might have been what Alex Wu had mocked up as like a possible thing where you could do it. And I was just like, oh my God. In the end, I think it was done from the ground up, just sculpted from the ground up, kind of like digitally sculpted from the ground up by Dave, I want to say. I might be wrong on that. I'll ask Ben. I'll see if he can tell me the details on that. But yeah, specifically like that was kind of done in that way. And I just looked at it and was like, oh, duh, that's so much better. Basically you take the seat out and you put another seat in and it's got, back-to-back kind of double seats. Just genius, absolute genius. So yeah, they went above and beyond on that one, and I love them for it. But yeah, that was day one. We were discussing the scales, and we also wanted, we wanted kind of like diaclone scale to be included. We wanted all sorts of different scales to have an opportunity to kind of use this amazing vehicle. So yeah, that was kind of in the early days. Robbie O says, are we expecting more surprises, especially more characters in development to be announced on SDCC 2022? Yeah, I think so. They'll probably do like their panel, which will be like maybe like this behind the scenes. That kind of strikes me as maybe a lot of design images, a lot of inputs and presentation art and things like that. Maybe a lot of like stuff to show the process of what they do with a classified figure. I could see that happening. That's just my guess from the blurb they've already posted. And then, yeah, I could see them saying, hey, we're going to reveal this, or we're going to talk about these figures and what have you. We know for a fact that the Sarge is going to be like up for pre-order over that weekend, I believe. So we know that for a fact. We know that they still haven't mentioned anything about Dr. Mindbender. So I would be surprised if Dr. Mindbender wasn't some sort of exclusive, or if he wasn't posted up the same weekend as the Sarge. Yeah, I could see that happening. And then you've got like so many figures in development. Ones they've already talked about, with those kind of pre-pipeline reveals or development reveals. And I would go as far as to say there are still characters to reveal, in kind of digital renders and stuff like that too. So I think there's going to be there's a lot they can do and there's a lot they can reveal, and they may even do something like that, Robbie. Totally. Rest in peace, Hart. Exactly. I'm taking that's for Ken Kelly and Ian Kennedy, Anonymous Dude, and totally. One more shout out for the absolute legends, totally. Agent Chuckle says, Tier 5 classified version of Mail Away Duke with flag tampo. Do you know what, mate? I could see it. I could see that happen. Definitely see that happen. I even mentioned that on the stream last week, not that specifically, but I said a classic Duke I could see them doing in the same way with Cobra, in some sort of G.I. Joe takeover in a similar way they did to the Sky Striker. A lot of people did say, well, the Sky Striker probably needed a push though, and that's why they did the Cobra reveal. And I think that was the case genuinely. But also, I think that's something they could do this time, and we could get a classic Duke out of it, and it would be great, retro carded, and then we know he's come in the main line at some point again, and then as a Tiger Force repaint again, just as they reveal Tiger Force Duke. That's probably what puts me off on maybe thinking that Duke might be the figure, but still, I think it's a possibility. Anonymous Dude says, Cobra's on a roll. I'm afraid they won't be able to be stopped. HasLab needs a Joe vehicle to battle the diabolical H.I.S.S full force. Good point. Yes, it's going to happen soon, man. Definitely. Malcolm, yes, you submitted Cadaver. That was it. You can see his icon in my logo. Cadaver will be the head bad guy for that line. And Chris, you're super handsome. Oh, stop it. This is disgusting. I'm not doing this on purpose. I didn't even read that last bit, Malcolm. I was just excited to see that you'd posted who the figure was. Guys, people are going to think I'm that vain that I need you to say how gorgeous I am, and I have to post that. I don't need that. Please don't do that. I'm just going to make me look like an absolute moron, which I can't look any more like. But thank you. I appreciate it, Malcolm. And also, Cadaver looks incredible. Really excited for all that stuff. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Go check it out, by the way. You can see on not just Malcolm's Facebook page, but also if you go onto the Operation Recall Kickstarter, I believe those images are updated on there, and obviously on 3D Joe's Facebook page. And obviously, I think Operation Recall has a Facebook page now as well. Basically, anything that Carson has his hand in, go check it out because it'll have images of Cadaver on there. Next weekend, is it already next weekend, J-Mac? What date is it? 11, 12. It's not next weekend, is it? I suppose we've got this weekend, and then, yeah, you're right. It is the weekend after this coming one. Yes, you're right. Next weekend, J-Mac. Sorry. There's me thinking it was the upcoming weekend. Like, no, it can't be. Have I just gone through a portal, a time, a black hole or something? Phoenix Richardson, I think people are underestimating how awesome these alternate Super 7 Joes are going to be. I'm not. I've seen a few of them. They look incredible. That bat looked so dope. But yeah, I think that is the case, Phoenix. I think, a lot of people aren't going to buy them either, and therefore won't have them in hand to see. And that's, we can't afford everything. I certainly can't. I had to draw a line in the sand, just due to just space, money, the fact that other life things that we need to kind of be saving for. But yeah, I totally know what you're saying. HasLab Wolverine with blonde cover girl. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Neil, I love you too, Chris. You're the repaint commander, and I cannot compete with that. I'm the repaint commander, but you're part of my repaint crew. Amazing. Oh, that'd be sweet. A Punk with Toys. Flint and Lady Jane, Hiss Driver and Gunner disguised as a secret tier. Just taking the heads off, popping them on the bodies. Done. Easy. Droz says, I would love to see new and fresh characters to come about too during this run. Yeah, me too. I'd love it. I think it'd be wicked. I'd love to see Chuckles with the missile from the movie, from the Havoc missile when he throws it at the Hiss tank. That would be wicked. And obviously, we've just changed our theme on the weekly to Chuckles inspired for the summer, and it would be so cool, wouldn't it? And then we'd look like absolute savants for guessing it. But no, I don't. People keep saying, do you know that Chuckles is coming soon? It's like, no, it was Brian Sauer's idea to do the Chuckles thing for the summer, and I was just like, yes, that's perfect. Not even thinking for a second that people would be like, oh, that Chuckles is coming, and it's like, I don't. I wish he was. I'm not even saying it out loud, Luke. I'm just going to post it. There you go. There you go. See, it's so easy. It's like an OCD thing with me now. We need a Tiger Force takeover of the H.I.S.S, Neil. Yes, we do. Couch Boy, hi, I'm Tardy. Listened and read everything. Got Coco coming. C16K on H.I.S.S. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, we've a few little things on today's show, Couch Boy, but you can check it out after the fact, buddy. Thanks for joining at all, mate. It's good to see you. Okay, right. Sorry, guys. So we've got to call it. We call it a night, and I'll call it a night on an hour mark, almost exactly. It's been absolutely awesome seeing you guys. Oh, Tristan, one more thing. Let's talk about this. Do we know anything about that Serpentor prototype that popped up a while ago? Out of the loop on that one. Curious if that was legit or not. Well, it was legit. It was almost certainly Serpentor pieces kind of leaked from the factory. I think we can all expect a Serpentor and Air Chariot in the future, Tristan. And, you know, it kind of just goes without saying, really, doesn't it? Maybe that could be something they're talking about over SDCC. Who knows? Who knows? Robbie O says, is Mindbender going to be a Pulse exclusive in the US? Can you confirm? Because apparently Best Buy is going to sell it as well. Chris, you're cute. What did I say? I didn't read the last bit. I need to vet these more securely. Okay, Mindbender, we don't know anything really about at the moment. Other than like I know GameStop in Canada have him for like, and they've pushed their date back again, by the way. I think it's like the 30th of July now. So it's very likely we might see that as an SDCC exclusive. And I'm just guessing based on the fact that SDCC is coming up and GameStop pushed their date to the 30th. I don't know. I could just be reading into that a little bit too much. But yeah, I don't know. I imagine Mindbender would end up on Pulse no matter what, even if it's in that kind of like Pulse Premium member short kind of amount thing. I don't think it'd be difficult to get hold of, is what I'm getting at. But I don't know if he's going to be a Pulse exclusive. I don't know, is the answer to that, Robbie. And flattery will get you everywhere. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Stop saying nice things. Well, actually, you can say nice things about it. I appreciate it. There's more coming in. I'm not going to keep posting them up because it just makes me look like an absolute... just makes me look really vain. And that's not what I'm here for. I appreciate all the lovely, kind words. You're all amazing, and I love you guys. But that will bring me to the end of the news burst. Like in summary, we'll say summary. We've got Tier 4 absolutely destroyed. 16K has been reached and beyond now for the HasLab H.I.S.S tank. More to come? Question mark. Don't know. Really don't know. Yeah, Naked HD is not here, but neither is Patrick. Curious. Neil, good point. Yeah. The second bit of news was that Emily has been dispelling rumors about Cobra Commander being originally planned for the last two figures in the Walmart retro cardback series, and he wasn't. He never was planned for it, and the last two figures will probably get revealed during Walmart's CollectorCon over SDCC. So it's going to be like Yojo July, isn't it? Again, we're just going to get absolutely pummeled with G.I. Joe for another month, and I'm here for it all day long. And yes, SDCC was the other news, that they are having a G.I. Joe themed pop-up appear at SDCC, which is going to be cool. So I can't wait for that. Any other bits and pieces that have come out today? We're hoping to interview Brian Flynn again very soon regarding SDCC. We're hoping to be interviewing Emily and Lenny very soon regarding the HasLab and many other things. And anything else on the cards? I think that's it for now. No, that's it. That is it. This has been fun, but I'm tired and I'm going to go to bed now. After 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. You know it. See you later, guys.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.